Right, dry now. Next morning, let's crack on. Right, nice and dry now. Bit too glossy. Be dealing with that shortly. But before we do anything else, all that is resined on, so it ain't ever coming off. What we need to do now, with yon Stanley knife, is just cut off the excess. So it's quite neat. Notice a Stanley knife proof glove. Safety first, babies. Fiberglass resin, it sets rock hard, and any little tiny edges are always really sharp. Take those off. The edges smooth. Now where this is, the cloth's got little hairy bits, as all cloth does, the resin sets hard, and that's like a rasp at the minute. So I'm just going to go over it. Just take the tops off, just the spiky tops off the resin, just to smooth it out, because you will be working on the bike one day and you'll do that, guaranteed, across it, and you'll take all the skin off your hand, so just soften it up.
It looks like a snake skin.
It does, doesn't it? Eel skin mudguard. How cool is that? Okay. Obviously the scrim's covered up all the holes, so just want to go through them carefully with lots of control, just so I don't drill them in the wrong place. Nearly done. No elongation. Right, decided to rock this a little bit further back so it seats equally between the back and front rather than like I had it, so you'll see what I mean in a mo. Now, that now fits perfectly between the two holes there, and that gives it its position to sit on the bike. But obviously that's an open gap there, and because that's all I can spare to have out the bottom, that's a full nut, as they say. But if I wind that up, obviously this gap here is just going to squeeze down, and it will possibly be too much pressure on there. So I'm going to put a little keeper nut on the back, just so that the bolt itself is not... I'll get a nut later. It's great to have a packet of nuts, isn't it? Right, there we go. There the idea of that is that now, instead of pulling those down onto the plastic here, they're going to get pulled down onto that nut behind. So I've just got to reach in there with a spanner, hold that and do the other ones so that they're perfectly done up front to back there, rather than pulling on this. I'm sure you get the idea. So, spanners. Just making sure they're got a completely full nut, a little bit of thread sticking out, because that's obviously any further it's going to touch the tyre, because the tyre comes up close. And also too tight, I don't want it pulling down on the plastic too much. Okay, so in there, you see in there? There's a nut on the back holding that, so that's pinched and the bolt's solid, and there's enough tension on the top so as not to move that. And it's straight. Let's have a little test fit. Direct pen?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, right now, paintage. Obviously, I don't want to paint over the bolts. That's the whole point of, same as the rest of the bike. Tools away, keep tidy. So a little bit of masking tape around them for now, then do the paint job, and then finally put the bolts in to finish. Now I know I've not... Eh?
All over me.
I know there's no preparation on this, but that's the whole point. Being a rat bike, it'll chip off. And look better. That's it. That's just the end of a can, done. I get that dry, one more coat, then silver. Okay, one more decent coat. Right, so that dry, time for silver. Right, cunning ideas, 2, 4, okay. Since I bought loads and loads of these. Now they are the standard factory mount bolts that go in the frame legs to hold that brace on. But these are longer by that much. So I can do that to one of them and then have that sticking up there, because they're going to go in the middle of there as well. So it will add a little bit more decoratage, which is all good. So I've got 4 of them there, 4 of them there. Just got to spin these on and then they're ready to go. Right, before anybody else asks, as in the last time I did this, or when I did this on the tail end, all these fasteners, every single one, all these are all stainless, so they will not rust, so no, I don't need to paint them. And we did the tail end, people were asking, why don't you paint them? Because they'll go rusty. Oops, Allen key. Don't you love Allen bolts? There you go. Snipping them in so they're nice and tight. There we are. Right, ready. Okay. Here's one we prepared earlier. Take the candle flames off. Candle flames, there we are. That's it. They can't match perfectly, sadly. There you go, it's just a rat bike. Not important. There we go. clean as a whistle. And they just go. And all they're doing is just going to nut those up into the fiberglass with a little nip so they won't come undone. And being as it's a Bandit and not a Harley, they won't vibrate and come loose, so I don't need to put Loctite or anything else on them. They'll stay put, especially as they're going into plastic because it's a soft surface. Do them up till there's a little creak on the plastic, and that's about there. Don't want them coming undone, but by the same token, don't want to split the mudguard. Cool mundo. Okay, in place. Just needs the silver bit, doesn't it?
Yep.
Right, let's make some silver. That'll do. Always do in a well ventilated area. Right, ready?
Yep.
Now, dobbage. Ready? Kirsty Allsop?
Yeah, go on. I shall criticise as you go.
I'm sure you will. Actually, could be worth bolting it on first, couldn't it? Should we bolt it down first?
Yeah.
Cut. Right. Now, for anybody who says should paint this, really, not really.
Not really.
Not really. Original patina. Original fork finish. And this will blend in time. There you go. Well, last one. Here we are, tough as you like. Right, where was I? Now the beauty of this is if you kind of overdo it like that, you can just go over it with some black.
It looks more shiny through the camera because of the light.
Easier to put it on the bike and do it where it's held really still rather than trying to do this on the bench. Okay, when overdone a little bit of the black, which is easy to reverse.
Silver, you mean?
Yeah, I said that. Kind of puts black over the silver, gives it a bit more depth. There you go.
It does look brighter on the camera than it actually
Yeah,
is.
it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If you just... No, it just takes the edge off the silver. He's way bright now. It's probably the light's right above it as well. That's better. It kind of... It's almost a three layer process. You got to kind of put the black on, then the silver always looks too stark, always. And when you put black over the silver, it kind of shadows it out. Kind of learning as you go. It's quite easy, really, isn't it? If you... There you go, experimentage. That coming on, Pen? Would Kirsty be proud of that? That'd get me on changing rooms. There you go, frilly cuffs. Train.
That's it. Done.
You reckon? Got to stop there, yeah?
Yep. That's it. Finish.
Right. You can see, can't you, that our Penny is my voice of reason. She says when to stop. And it's about the next day when I go and look at the job, I think, yeah, that's exactly right.
She was right.
You was right. You know what it's like, boys. You always have to let them think they're right. Okay. Well, there we are. Oh my God. Didn't take very long. Kind of matches in with the theme and gets that bit out of the way because I just wanted to do all of that. Pretty much done. Everything's structural now. Just got to do the lights. Now, a lot of you have seen these on the bench. No, they're not going to be the lights. They're not. I did buy them.
Else.
I did get them from somebody who'd used them there on their own, but the problem is, just going to make this point now. I did at the beginning talk about this being a daytime only MOT, no headlight, no clocks, no nothing, which is cool, very cool indeed, but it's very difficult to live with. The reason for that is that this is England, and in the winter we get about 5 hours daylight a day, so you can't really go out, you can't go to work, because you don't work 5 hours a day. You're always going to be one end of the day in the dark, aren't you? We wish, yeah. Obviously, if you're going to go out even on a Sunday ride, you've got to make sure that's over your head all day. You've got to get back before dark, back before dark. I've heard a famous story of a guy who was pulled over by the police, detained so long it got dark, and his bike had to get his bike ferried home by a breakdown company. It's too much grief. It seriously is. Very cool, but too much grief. So they are going to go on the Tiger. They're going to be winter running lights. Going to put them down in the cage. Another day, another time. But for now, I am going to run headlights, a headlight or headlights. I've got a plan for that, and the clocks are going back on. The clocks are up here. They've been up here since I took them off, and all too easy to just bolt them back on. I'll get that in a minute. But they are going back on. Not in this condition though. They're going to be kind of given this treatment we've done on the mudguard, and they will go back in, and they will be blended in with the whole look, so they'll do the job. But again, clocks, you know what speed you're doing, you've got all your idiot lights, fuel gauge, it's all in there. And in some respects, the bike's got to be practical. The other reason that it's got to be practical is that when it comes to the end of this project, this thing is going to be for sale. Yes, indeed. I've had it for 4 years. This will be the final makeover for me, and then it'll be for sale. The reason is I want to make room for another project. Have a look around you. 4 bikes in the garage, you just can't live. You can't move around, you can't swing a cat in here. So obviously, it's time to consider, once this is done, this has got to be finished. Lights, clocks, that's going to be the next section, then MOT'd, then it'll be up for sale. And again, once it's up for sale and once it's gone, then I'll be getting something different as the next project. But who knows? Penny knows. And then she knows everything, even before I do. You know what it's like, boys, they know what you're thinking. So yeah, thank you for tuning in and watching Delboy's Garage. That's been number 23 of project Phase 3 Thingamajig Makeover. And is that it?
That's it.
Take it easy, ride safe, see you next time.